you announced that you're going to become a professional pickleball player to the world. And I think the tennis world was kind of like luckily a few other tennis players got signed at this time, but it was kind of like what's going on.
Similar time, right?
Yeah,
Jack?
same time. Okay. It was kind of like what's going on.
But Jack had played a bunch.
He had already played some because he had already retired.
Yeah.
And so I remember hearing he had played a tournament and liked it or did well or something.
Well, first, how'd this process come about?
So yeah, this was 2023, around US Open time. And I just remember, my agents coming to me and being like, they also represent Jack. And they were like, hey, Jack's played some pickleball tournaments in the past. The professional tour, the PPA are, really looking to bring some tennis players over. And, this would be a very, great opportunity for you and obviously very different and change your life. And so, I sat on it and thought about it. And, there were a lot of compelling things that really made me consider the idea and ultimately accept. And so that's how we ended up where we are. And so some of those things were, this was 2 years ago. So I was like 29. I had been playing pro tennis for full time for a long time. As we talked about, you start so young. And I definitely felt the appeal of only traveling in the US. The travel with tennis is just so tough. Trying something new. I've been playing tennis for, at this point, 25 years. So, I have that feeling of I miss learning. And that's the reason I'm tell people I may be serious, I may be joking, but I kind of want to go to school because I'm I just miss the feeling of learning. I didn't even go to college. Learning a new skill, having that challenge. Joining something that is exploding and growing like crazy.
It was the most explosive moment for sure.
And, jumping on this train of something that grew fastest than any sport or whatever the stats are about pickleball. And having a chance to be a part of that was also very enticing. And so, I just kind of weighed the pros and cons in my head. And it also didn't mean that I was immediately saying yes to tennis as well. But
I'm sure that's what the world kind of thought when
for sure
you told them, right? They're like, all right, Genie just gave up her tennis career.
Right. No, so, I had a certain number of tournaments to play, with my, signing with the PPA. But so I knew I could carve out some tennis events and still do certain things that I wanted to do. I also, do the TV broadcasting stuff and have my brand deals, which does require, some time and travel and commitment. So I wanted to keep doing all these things I enjoy. And it just kind of was like, why not? Let's just go for it.
And had you played any pickleball?
I had played with friends, starting in COVID a little bit. To me, that's when, as a lay person with pickleball, is when it really exploded. I think
that's when I discovered it. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people discovered it then. So I would play with friends, or other tennis players who also enjoyed playing a different type of racket sport. Also had the whole padel, the explosion as well.
Do you like padel?
I've only played a few times just because I've been balancing two racket sports the last couple of years. Yeah. And I was like, I can't add a third. My brain will literally explode. But I do enjoy that, of course, too. I think, as soon as you're used to playing with a racket or a racket sport, they're all kind of fun, right? Yeah. That was some of my thoughts.
And are you happy with that decision?
I am, yes. I do have to say I've really appreciated the kind of different lifestyle it's afforded me in terms of just, being able to feel a little more normal. It's not the travel's not as extreme. It's not as physically injury or painful the way tennis is. And so
not as many eyeballs on it, compared to tennis.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a part, it's not I was trying to escape eyeballs, let's say. That's not
I thought it to be normal, to be able to
Right. I mean, normal just in the sense of it just feels slightly less extreme than tennis does.
Yeah. You're traveling in the US. You're not having to spend 2 weeks at tournaments. Yeah. You're playing less tournaments. I get what you mean. It's...
I don't have to go to Australia for 2 months. I don't have to go to Asia for 2 months. Yeah. I don't have to go to Europe for 3 months. And again, super grateful I got to do all that, but I did do it, on a repeat for 15 years. Yeah. And it's just tough. It's just tough on your body, on your mental health, on your family relationships, friends, personal relationships. Tennis really requires an 11-month sacrifice of every minute of your day.